Okay, well, welcome everyone. I'm Wendy Weger. I serve as president here at Gilda's Club. We are so delighted and excited to have you drop in for what is a great celebration, our 20th year of operation as we enter the next year coming, and I'm so grateful for you to spend a little time with us. I am delighted to share with you that we have some wonderful people from our program team. And I am going to turn it over to them very shortly here. But Lindsay, Jousma, Dorace and Meurs, both of our program directors, and Beth Nelson, who was our program director and tried to retire, but we never let her do it. And so she's still involved and has been. In fact, Beth was our second employee here at Gilda's Club. And so we just want to welcome you. Thank you for tuning in, being part of this very special day of ours. We've had some really great excitement already over the weekend and this morning with television interviews, radio interviews. And I want to remind you as well that we have a couple other events that are happening today as well at noon and at 4 o'clock. But thank you for being part of this. And I will turn it over. I think we've got a little bit of a PowerPoint to share with everyone as well.
Welcome everybody. Thank you so much, Wendy. Delighted to have you all here with us today to celebrate 20 years of Gilda's Club. What an honor it is to be able to have this anniversary of wonderful emotional and social support that takes place here at Gilda's Club. Would love to introduce to you Beth Nelson, our program director for many, many years here at Gilda's Club Grand Rapids, who helped to begin and launch and sustain the wonderful support program here at Gilda's Club, keeping members at the center of our focus and offering so much wonderful support for families, adults, children, and friends here at Gilda's Club. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to you, Beth, to share a little bit of your perspective and what makes Gilda's Club Grand Rapids unique and special for these 20 years.
Well, thank you, Lindsay. As the first program director, I did start at Gilda's Club over 20 years ago, and I've seen many, many changes over the last 20 years. Our first calendar had 10 activities per month, and now we have over 200. I've had the privilege of helping to implement the philosophy of our program. The philosophy was actually developed by Gilda herself and her psychotherapist, Joanna Bull. And it was so well thought out and planned that it still holds true these 20 years later. Gilda's wish was for a place that people who live with cancer could come together and learn from each other, support each other, and laugh some along the way. We all know that Gilda loved to laugh. The program is unique in that it has a little bit of something for anyone who's working to manage a cancer or a grief journey. We know that everyone does not do that in the same way. Both our cancer and our grief support groups can experience lectures from local professionals and workshops that consist of different activities such as art, movement, emotional and physical health, cooking, crafts, and yes, lots of fun for all ages. Our volunteers help us by offering these workshops, meals, a beautiful garden, and a beautiful place. The idea was and still is to create a warm atmosphere where members will feel welcomed and feel safe to express the full range of emotions that they are experiencing. There are so many stories that need to be told and heard, and our members come together to do just that. The program staff has lots of experience and lots of compassion that enables them to help people choose their place in our program, wherever that may be. Both the program and the clubhouse were built to achieve these goals. Let me tell you, we have been very successful in our virtual program also, but we cannot wait to get back into the clubhouse. Lindsay, are you up next?
Thank you so much, Beth, and thank you for sharing some of your insights and experiences over these 20 years of delivering free emotional health care right here in West Michigan. Whether it's in person or virtual, Gilda's Club remains available for anyone who's impacted by cancer or grief. And as Beth was sharing, our philosophy here at Gilda's Club, our members are the center of our focus. So the members know what it's like to be in their shoes, here for emotional and social support, that psychosocial support on a cancer or a grief journey. Gilda's Club is here in West Michigan for children, adults, families, and friends. So the whole network is part of the beauty of the philosophy of Gilda's Club, that when cancer or grief enters a family or a system, a community, that Gilda's Club is here to support in that psychosocial way. And we are all professionally led support groups provided by our program team and completely free of charge. So there's no charge for anyone coming into our program. Next slide, please, Hannah. So we wanted to spend a little bit of time to give a brushstroke overview of the 20 years of Gilda's Club program. And as you can see here on this slide, some highlights include, well, naturally, we were 100% in person prior to COVID-19, delivering Gilda's Club free emotional health care for children, adults, families, and friends at our clubhouse. So we have our clubhouse at Gilda's Club Grand Rapids. We have our Lowell satellite extension. We have numerous outreach, community supports, hospital partnerships, and our in-school program where we deliver the emotional health care right here in our school districts. As you can see here, it's for something for everyone. So we have age-appropriate, developmentally appropriate curriculum for our youth to learn more about emotional health care, naming feelings, and learning to cope with those feelings, which are a very natural part of cancer and grief. Over 300 activities each month for our members who are impacted by cancer or grief. And of course, we could not do this program without the support of the community and also hundreds of volunteers that make this possible for our members here in West Michigan. Next slide, please. Now to turn the chapter into the pandemic era, we have flipped the switch virtually, offering 100% virtual programming right here in West Michigan. And so proud of our team and our organization and our community for coming together to make this possible for a seamless transition for our members to experience that emotional social support, whether it's in person or currently right now on the virtual platform of our HIPAA compliant Zoom platform and facilitated again by all master level professionals. Just to give you a glance of what's currently on our program during COVID, we have over 30 weekly activities. We are making numerous outbound calls a month, reaching out to our members and to our potential members who are in our community, who are in need of our support here at Gilda's Club. And on average per quarter, we average about 1,800 visits in our virtual support program. One opportunity that Gilda's Club has been able to launch and sustain during this time of COVID-19 is our Facebook Live educational series. Once a week, we have over 1,000 views on our Facebook Live educational. And this is a great opportunity for Gilda's Club to connect with community and share our expertise in emotional health care with our greater community. Next slide, please, Hannah. A couple additional highlights of our time this past year. We've launched a young adult cancer support group, LGBTQ cancer and grief support, and some very creative ways of connecting with children and families during this time of the pandemic, whether it's through our virtual Noogie Fest, Camp Sparkle, holiday hangout for the youth, and most recently, a Winterfest activity, which includes kits, for the kids and families to do together, as well as links and social connected time on the virtual platform. We remain engaged with our school districts and our community partners and continue to grow our referral connections to help bridge for our community the support that's available and free here at Gilda's Club for our community. Thank you so much, Hannah. And I'd love to introduce to you our clinical program director, Dorace Van Meurs, who will take a deeper dive into the heart and mission of the impact that Gilda's Club has had on our members over these 20 years. So welcome, Dorace.
Thank you, Lindsay, and welcome everyone. So glad that you are joining us in our time together this morning. We love to highlight our program because our program is about our members, and our members truly drive what happens in our clubhouse, either in person or virtually on a day-to-day basis. And we get really excited about our program and about our members. And here on this slide, we show some of the quotes that we hear from our members that coming to Gilda's Club, joining with others, either in a workshop or a support group, or maybe even supper together, they truly find connection with one another, and they meet people who are in similar situations, and many begin to forge a lifetime relationship with other people that extends even beyond the clubhouse. One of my favorite things to observe is when new people come to the clubhouse and they walk hesitantly in the front door. They're perhaps overwhelmed with a new cancer diagnosis or feeling lost and alone with a new grief journey. And they step inside the clubhouse and they're just unsure and they don't know what to do or how to get started. And we introduce them to others. They join their group or workshop. And 2 hours later, they walk out of the clubhouse much lighter and brighter, just forming new connections that they know, other people know what I'm going through too. And that is just so beautiful to witness over and over again. And we're glad that they're finding those experiences in our clubhouse. Next, we'd like to show you a short clip from one of our mission videos. And this is of two of our members, Angela Schmidt and her son, Salvador. And we would just like to hear her share a bit of her story with us at this time.
It's a special club. It's not maybe the club that you want to join or want to have to join, but it's the perfect one to come to. This has really been a place where we were able to remember to laugh through everything too. And of course, I always think I've always thought I was really funny. But it's nice to be able to come to a place and feel ill and be going through treatment and be exhausted from treatment and still just open up your soul to the healing power of laughter.
Great, thank you. You can hear directly from Angela and her son, Salvador, just how warm the place was for them during the time of their cancer journey, and just how much they benefited from all of it. Okay, so we're switching back to our PowerPoint, our next page here. And this is about going forward and what happens when the pandemic is done, and it may not totally ever be done, but we're still going to move forward and adjust and transition into our next thing when it is safe to do so. So we really do look forward to reopening the clubhouse, and it will be a blend of in-person and virtual program. We have had so many successes with our virtual program that there's a lot of things that we want to continue to do moving forward. And so And as we look forward to that, we also want to look at how we can continue to bring in new members and continue to increase the program that we have, whether it's new support groups that meet the needs of our members or workshops that really address the things that cancer and grief brings with it in terms of support. So we look forward to a new day in the next year, the next 5 years, and in the next 20. And now we'll transition back to Beth, who will take us to the end of our presentation here. And Beth is muted. Can you unmute Beth? And Hannah, we can move to the next slide, please. Here we go.
Ah, modern technology, right? Gilda would be making lots of jokes about all of this, about how all the staff is muted and can't talk anymore, and that's probably not the best idea. So anyway, we want to thank you from all of us, all the staff at Gilda's Club, to starting here today with our kickoff event for our 20th birthday. I never would have thought 20 years ago that I'd still be working with this marvelous organization and being able to still share in all of the wonderful stories, and what a privilege it is for all of the staff to be able to be part of this. It's just an honor that we talk about all the time, how fortunate we are to be part of this organization. If you're new or you have questions, please feel free to call us or to get on the website and take a look at what's happening. And we would be glad to answer any questions. Most times all day, you're going to get a live person if you give us a call. So we're pretty proud of that, even during this time of technology. As Gilda's, many of you probably know that we're supported 100% by donations, and we always welcome contributions. If that's something you're interested in, we're very glad to answer any questions about that. And we certainly look forward to being part of the Cancer and Grief community, supportive community of Grand Rapids for 20 more years at least. So I don't know, Wendy, was there anything that you wanted to say?
I would just say thank you for everyone for tuning in. And if you have the opportunity to join us at noon, we have our founders, Twink Fry, Susan Smith, and Deb Bailey's sister, Denise Thorne, that will be sharing with us some of the history and going back. This morning, I had the wonderful opportunity to speak with Michael Radner, who really called out to me that 20 is a wonderful number, but it's not the most important number. The most important number are the thousands and thousands of people that we have had the opportunity to walk alongside of through some of life's toughest chapters. So I want to thank our program directors. I want to thank Beth, Lindsay, Dorace, and Hannah, and all of you for understanding some of the tech challenges that we had to face this morning, but are so grateful for your support on so many different levels. Wonderful to see some friendly faces out there. I just want to shout out all these names, but I know I would run out of time. So thank you folks for joining us, and thank you to Peter C. and Emma Jean Cook Foundation for the $20,000 match that they're providing Gilda's Club to keep us going and keep our doors and our services free.